Hey, welcome everyone. So, we are going to look at some Am I the Asshole Reddit stories. Okay? Let's just go straight into it. It's interesting to see how some of these people have crazy lives. Sometimes the family, it's not always family, but sometimes the Redditor is really just getting abused by the people around them, like very much manipulated, and they can't even tell that they're not the asshole. But sometimes people are really just shameless and like not aware of how they're acting, and so they don't know they're being the asshole. So those are interesting. And like, how do people get into some of these situations? It's really weird. All right, let's look at some of these. The lighting is not that great, but I did order more lights that should be here tomorrow, so just in the meantime, the lighting's not great, but it's fine. It's the first video on this channel, so you're not going to expect it to be perfect. Okay, let's go into it. Let's find our first one. I'm just going to randomly choose ones. Some of these might not be that great, some might be really good. Obviously it's the first time for me to like read them and react to them, so we'll just have to see. Okay, this seems like a good one. Am I the asshole? Okay, let's go into it. Read more. Okay. So it says, am I the asshole for giving my late husband's estate to a stranger instead of our kids? It sounds bad, but I know how sometimes these flip around, so I'm not going to judge yet. Okay. I, female 55, had been married to my husband, male 60, for 20 years before he died. It was cancer. He had 2 kids from a past marriage who were in their early teens when he married me. I had a 7-year-old from an earlier marriage as well. We didn't have any more kids. Okay. I tried to treat my stepchildren as my own, but they never accepted me. They were very rude and insulted me whenever they could. Since I did not work, they called me a gold digger who married their dad only for his money. I feel like a lot of stepchildren do that. Yeah, there's probably a lot of like anger about their parents getting divorced and stuff like that, so. The truth was, my grandparents were quite wealthy and left me a lot of money when they died. I lived well below my means and chose to stay home and raise my daughter, since I could afford that. I did not need his money at all, but I didn't bother sharing this with his kids and told him not to either. I did not want them to like me just because they might gain monetarily from me. Okay, so I'm assuming that means that she's like, has more money than her husband then. My husband, on the other hand, hated how they behaved with me. Their blatant disrespect made him not pay for their college tuition. Their mom couldn't pay for it, and they had to take loans for it. They didn't even talk to him. Even when he got cancer, they refused to come see him. For 3 years, we struggled with the treatment. My daughter came to visit from time to time when she could. Damn, that's rough. So he gets cancer. He's in the hospital. He's struggling, going through cancer treatment, which is rough. And his kids won't even see him over money. But his stepdaughter now is. That's wild. Okay. During this time, I love how they're calling her gold digger, and they literally stopped seeing their dad because of money. That's ironic. During this time, only person who really helped both of us was someone we were not related to at all. This girl, in her late 20s, waitressed at a cafe we frequented. She was a single mom, taking classes at community college at night, working during day and raising her 2 kids. She took a liking to us, and when she learned my husband was sick, spent whatever time she could visiting him. She has stayed nights at the hospital when I needed a break and basically been the daughter we wished for. Okay, that's interesting. So it's like literally a stranger. Oh, so this is a stranger that she gives the inheritance to. I mean, seems valid, and she's struggling. She's struggling through all this stuff in life, and she even has time to go see him, but his own kids can't. When he died, she helped me arrange the funeral. His kids came on the day, and all they wanted to know was about their inheritance. I felt sick. Yes, valid. When I learned my husband had left his estate to me, whatever is left after settling his bills, and it was around $25,000, I decided to give it to the girl who helped us both so much. She tried to refuse, but insisted she take it. But I insisted she take it. She needed it, and in my opinion, deserved it more than the ungrateful children. So my daughter understands why I did not give it to his children. But it is upsetting I did not give anything to her either. Okay, so she's upset. I told her she already had money and a job, not to mention she will get my inheritance. This was in no way her money. Okay? Yeah, that's true technically. But I guess she was raised by him for a long time, right? Because she came in, she said, when she was 6. So, but yeah, technically nobody's entitled to the money. But his ex-wife and kids are causing havoc over this and really upset with me. They are calling me an asshole for giving away money they deserve. The ex-wife? Okay, the ex-wife has nothing to do with it. She's probably just upset that her kids didn't get the money. But seriously, that's all they cared about, though. If the money was given to OP, then, she can do whatever she wants with the money. Obviously, if they had a better relationship with their dad, I'm sure he would have given them money too. But no, they abandoned him. So definitely she's not the asshole. Okay, what are people saying? Yeah, they don't deserve the money, they just want it. Yeah. So this person says, I just went no contact with my parents 2 to 3 days ago. I know the odds are they will cut me out of their will. I'm 100% okay with it. See, that's the thing. It's like you can't leave and then expect to get the privileges you would get if you stayed, Yeah, it's not even a lot of money. It's $25,000. Yeah. Yeah, and what? He had 2 kids. So they would each get less than $13,000. Honestly, they're just making a big deal out of it. It's not a big deal at all. They're just being salty. But yeah, so Opie is not the asshole. Do you guys agree with me? I think most people would agree. But okay. This one might be good because it's a short one. Okay. Am I the asshole for kicking my sister out of my wedding? I, male 27, recently got married to my wonderful husband. It was a small wedding with just our family and close friends. My husband and I both love space, so we decided to have a space-themed wedding. Okay. We had star decorations, a galaxy marble cake, and fairy lights. I even wore a tux with little white stars. My sister, 32 female, was invited to be the ring bearer, as she and I are very close. However, when she showed up at the wedding, she was wearing a Halloween costume of Saturn. She was literally dressed up like the planet. We made it very clear in our invitations that this wedding was strictly formal. My sister and I joke around a lot, so I laughed about it and asked her to get ready as the wedding was starting soon. So she took it too far. Kind of making almost like a mockery of the wedding, but okay. But she fully planned to bring us the rings in our Halloween costume. She refused to change into a serious outfit, saying that our family would find it funny because Saturn has rings and she's the ring bearer. Okay, this was the most important day of my life, and I expected her to take it seriously, even though we often joke around. So I told her she could change or she could leave. She called me over dramatic and left. Wow. I mean, she took it too far in my opinion, so I don't think that OP is the asshole. His sister took things too far. Sure, maybe your family does like to joke around and stuff, but I think there's a time and a place. If, OP doesn't want his sister, it's his wedding. He doesn't want her dressed like that in some cheap Halloween costume type outfit. You know, it's supposed to be all formal. So, you know, she is the asshole. Yep. Pretty cut dry. It's just interesting that she gets so upset about it. I'm like, why are you so concerned? It's an outfit. Okay. That's so funny. This person said, she called you over dramatic, but chose to leave her brother's wedding rather than get dressed. That is so true. That is definitely true. Like she's the one that made a big deal out of it. Yeah, a lot of people are just saying, yeah, it's like funny that she did that, but like she's being too much. She's taking it too far. Okay, this is another one that I just found. I'm like looking at some of them on the side of the screen like, that looks like a good one. You know, the titles just like draw you in. You're like, what is that gonna be? There's a lot of, because I just saw a wedding one. There's a lot of wedding ones now. Okay. So I, 30 male, and my fiance, 30 female. Okay, I should read the title. Am I the asshole sister creating drama before my wedding? Okay. So I, 30 male, and my fiance, 30 female, are having a wedding October 2024. Is this the same one I just read? No. It's a different one. Okay, so I'll start again. So I, 30 male, and my fiance, 30 female, are having a wedding October 2024. The wedding is a long ways away, and so far we have a venue booked, a photographer hired, and a DJ hired. Those are about the only decisions we've made. I haven't even fully decided how many groomsmen I'm going to be having, and my fiance knows she wants to include 3 of her best friends, okay? One as a maid of honor, one as a matron of honor, and one as a bridesmaid. Okay. We have not talked about what this will look like on the wedding day and haven't nailed down too many details about the wedding parties, but we know they will not stand up with us during the ceremony. She has a brother that we would like to include, and I have 2 sisters, 34 and 36, that we would like to include. We haven't talked about what it will look like. I had one of my sisters over for dinner last week, and she casually in conversation asked my fiance who she was going to include in her wedding party. Why? Because she wants to be included. My fiance told her and the 3 friends she was including, and that was the end of it. Fast forward to yesterday. I got to talk. Okay. Fast forward to yesterday. I get a call from that sister saying she talked it over with my parents, my other sister, and a few cousins, and they all agreed that it's really messed up that my fiance is not making them bridesmaids. What? It sounds like some entitlement. Okay, I get really upset and super defensive because my fiance and I haven't even fully talked about this yet because the wedding is 14 months away. And I don't want my sister creating drama and basically gossiping about me to my entire family. I tell her it's not her place to be talking about this with anyone because we haven't decided anything for certain. And now it feels like however we include them won't feel genuine. We get in a huge fight and she tells me she doesn't want me to come to the wedding. No, she doesn't want to come to the wedding. I was like, she doesn't want me. What? She doesn't want the Redditor to go to their own wedding? What? She doesn't want to come to my wedding. I say, okay. She blocks me and we haven't spoken since. Am I the asshole for being upset and angry over this? What is this sister? Why does she feel like she needs to be in the bridal party? Why does she care that much? It's a wedding. It's not your wedding. You literally can't make these types of decisions. I don't understand why some people get so butthurt over this. Like, why do they care about being a bridesmaid or not? Is it really that big of a deal? Like, I don't know. I just think people blow things out of proportion when it comes to this. Okay. So yeah, I'm gonna say he's not the asshole. The sister is. The sister and his family. Like, why do they think that they need to be in the bridal party? Like, why is she entitled to be one? I don't know. So it seems like they want his sister and some of the cousins to be. Like, why? Especially if you're not close to the bride. Like, it makes no sense to me. Let's read some comments. Someone said, don't discuss your wedding plans with anyone. Yeah. Honestly, yeah. It's like they're making the wedding about themselves. Like, it has nothing to do with you. Literally. You should just be honored that you're invited. That they want to share the date with you. Not the asshole. Your sister is being a mess. Just continue your wedding planning and the rest will sort itself out. It's your day. Invite whoever you want to spend it with in whatever capacity. Somebody else says, yikes, has anyone told you how lovely it can be to elope? Yeah. Yeah. So it's concluded. He's not the asshole. It's the sister, which... So far, these have all been very, like, cut and dry. Yes, you're not the asshole. Okay. This one says, would I be the asshole for missing my twins' wedding? Okay. My parents abused my sisters and I, 27 female, throughout our life. I opted to stop being in contact with them for my mental health. It's been around 10 years since I last spent time with dad and around 3 years since I last spent time with my mom. I know where this is going. Okay. My twin is in touch with them and is... wow. My twin is in touch with them and is planning to have them both at her wedding early next year. Would I be the asshole if I decided not to go to the wedding to avoid being around them? Update. Okay, so I'm going to say no because... I'm going to say no. Sure, it sucks if you're missing your twins' wedding, but I think your twin should be understanding in the fact that you don't want to have any contact with them since something serious did happen, like abuse. So it might just cause a lot of trauma to come up. You know, if it's actually something that's going to cause a bunch of trauma to come up, then you're not. But if you're just doing it out of like pettiness, then you kind of are. But I'm going with the more you're not the asshole. Because, I don't know, that's just a lot to have to deal with. Okay, what's the update? Okay, Twin and I have chatted about it a bit, and she said she would understand but be disappointed. Yeah, that's how I see it, which I fully understand. I don't want to hurt her, but I am terrified of... not the asshole. But I'm terrified of my parents, and I have no way to know whether I'm mentally strong enough yet to see them without making my mental health worse. Yeah, not the asshole. It's an unfortunate situation, but it's understandable. And it's good that her twin's being understanding about it. That's just a sad situation. Okay, let's read some comments and see what everybody else says. Not the asshole, but explain to your twin that you can't be around the toxic parents. Wish her a happy day and make plans to get together for a private celebration with her and her spouse at a later date. You need to preserve the progress you've made. Her being in a different space doesn't change that. Yeah. Just have an honest discussion. Yep. Oh, yeah. I didn't think about that. What somebody just said is not the asshole, especially if being around them would disrupt the wedding. Is there any way for you to view it virtually? Oh, that'd be a good idea. That makes sense, though. I never thought of the fact that it would, like, actually disrupt the wedding, possibly. I was just thinking more of, like, OPs going through their trauma internally. Because I'm sure the parents might like approach her, so maybe it would cause some actual drama there that like would cause everybody to notice. And yeah, viewing it virtually sounds like a great idea, actually. I mean, it'd be like a couple of extra steps that they'd have to go through, but I think it'd be worth it, like if they really care about her seeing it. Okay, so suddenly this is turned into a wedding one. Um, okay, let's get out of the wedding section. Okay, let's read this one. It says, am I the asshole for not wanting to celebrate my husband's birthday? Already sounds bad, but let's go. Maybe he cheated. I don't know. I, 37 female, have been married to Joe, 35 male, for 11 years. That's a long time. So Joe has never been the romantic kind of guy. Never has bought me flowers or surprised me. And I know who I have married and was not bothered by it until now. Okay. I mean, so far you seem like the asshole because you knew what you were getting into. However, I've always decorated the house, ordered cakes, invited his friends as a surprise for his birthday, and he enjoyed it, and I like that he's happy. But I do expect at least a wish and dinner for special occasions like anniversaries or birthday. I mean, that's like, yeah, the bare minimum. Yeah, like, so makes sense. Okay. This year, on our anniversary, a week before I picked a place where we would go for dinner, that morning he woke up in a bad mood and was annoyed with me for something petty. I realized he doesn't remember, so I let it be. I called him at work, but he was busy in a meeting, and he did not remember the whole day. And at night, when his mom called to wish us, he realized it's our anniversary, so he didn't even know. But their mom knew. Oh, his mom knew. That's not looking good. Okay. Next came my birthday. He forgot it's my birthday. Oh, that's really bad. He came home from work and looked at the flowers my boss had sent me and asked me about it, for which I gave some random reason and did not remember it until post-dinner, until someone wished me in the common group. He apologized for not remembering it and promised we will go out for dinner next day. It got pushed to the weekend. And weekend, he took me to the same place we go every weekend when we were bored to cook food. I was so overdressed. Ooh, that's not good. He didn't even like tell her, maybe you're like dressing too fancy. Like, he didn't even warn her, which makes it even worse. Like, sure, you're already doing like her birthday dinner at like a not special place, like a place that you regularly go to. Oof. But then not telling her. Okay. Honestly, I'm kind of here for her pettiness, but okay. It says, this is where I might be petty, but this time I thought maybe I'm feeling bad because I plan and surprise so much and maybe have started expecting it in return. And I should keep it simple like he does. So I didn't plan anything for his birthday, which is in a week. However, he is constantly reminding me that it's his birthday and has asked me to take the day off from work as he wants us to go to the best restaurant and have a fun birthday. Wow, double standards. Okay. I almost feel like he doesn't even notice his actions. Like he doesn't even realize what he's doing. Yeah. And now I'm wondering, why does he get to have special days when I never do? So am I the asshole for not wanting to celebrate his birthday? Nope, not the asshole. Especially if you've been going through this for years. The fact, it's not even that he forgets, it's that it doesn't seem like he makes the effort. Yet he, like, makes a big deal of his own birthday. Yeah. Nah, I would say not the asshole. Okay. Update. First off, thank you all for great suggestions. And for those who mentioned that we do not communicate, I would like to clarify that communication has not been an issue. Yeah, it's like in one ear, out the other for him. He just doesn't care. Now for the update. Okay. A day before his birthday, we were casually conversing when I showed him through the photo app throwback memories of his birthday. There were many with his best friends or us on trips, etc., everything organized by me. He went silent and took some time going through the pics. Later, he took his phone and I realized he was searching for such pics of my birthday and he couldn't find many. So he literally just doesn't even know. Like, he's just not aware. That's sad. After a while of him searching, he was visibly disturbed and he was just looking at me with sadness. Oh, that's such a good aside. I explained that I do it as I see it gives him happiness and a good birthday experience and great memories in the form of pictures whenever he wants to look back. Then he replied that he needs to make more effort in doing the same for me. Also told me he will plan things but will need my help in implementing it, as I have been the one always organizing these things for him or for our 8-year-old's birthday. Our 8-year-old daughter's birthday. My daughter was watching us go through this and suggested, why don't we celebrate tomorrow as both parents' birthday? He thought it was a great idea, as it could be an apology celebration for him to me for missing out mine while spending quality time with us on his birthday. And him and my daughter spent the rest of the day planning, and I did help. However, I let him make the choices. I am happy it all worked out organically. Not sure if next birthday will be planned or forgotten, but I had a good day on his birthday, and they both can't stop talking about it as how well they planned the whole day all by themselves without my help. Thanks again for all the lovely messages. Wow, that was a nice one. It's always nice when they end on like a high note, you know? See, this was a situation where the husband like was an asshole, but unintentionally, because he literally just, it wasn't even in his mind. It's like he just wasn't aware. He wasn't fully there and aware of what was going on. But now, hopefully, it seems like after he like kind of got some self-reflection and saw what was going on, he's changing. So hopefully in the future now he'll be, and I bet even like maybe the daughter will like help remind him. I can see that happening. We'll see though. I guess we won't see because they probably won't update again. But yeah, I would say nobody's really an asshole in this situation. The husband's like kind of an asshole, but not intentionally. Am I the asshole because I don't want to go to all of my in-laws' holiday events? Okay. The holidays are coming up and I'm already stressed. We have an 11-month-old. My husband and I have waited for our whole lives to have a happy marriage and happy children, and we're finally here. I had a bit of bad childhood, and I'm very excited to make healthy memories and my children during the holidays. Oh, I love cooking and baking and planning things. Okay? The issue is that my husband's family monopolize every single holiday. Every single holiday and birthday, there's a party thrown by his aunt, then another by his dad's mom. Okay. By his grandma. Okay. Okay. Then another by his mom's mom. Okay. And then another by his mom's grandma. Wow, they got a lot of family still alive. Okay. There's a minimum of 3 to 4 events for each holiday or birthday, and it leaves no time for us to do our own thing at home. My husband normally just agrees to go to the events his family throws because his mom guilts him into going. Okay. But now that we have a child, I believe it's our time to have our own holiday together as a family of 3. We also live about 30-40 minutes away from these people, and they do not travel to us. The drive is expected to be made by us with our infant, and while doable, it's a pain in the ass to travel around the nap schedule of a baby to a non-child-proofed home. Okay. I did not have family around when I was younger, so maybe this is normal. It just seems like so much, and whenever I express Whenever I express that I don't want to go to all these events, my husband assumes I hate his family or his mom guilts us into going because of them all wanting to see the baby. So either way, I look controlling or like I'm just hogging my baby. I mean, it's your baby technically, so. Is this a normal amount of trips for holidays? Am I right to assume that? Now that we have a family of our own, his extended family takes a backseat to us and our family? I don't want them out of the picture. I just don't want the assumption to be that we will attend every single event without question. Am I the asshole for wanting to stop attending so many events, or should I just be going to them all? I mean, that is a lot of events. I mean, in my family, we have like one. And then people like with their own family units have their separate one as well. So it's like, I think that's normal. I don't think it's normal to be going to so many that like every little family, everybody has their own little event. And why do they have to do it separately? It's kind of weird. I feel like instead what they should do is like every year maybe they switch off who's going to be the one throwing the party for everyone. Because if it's like the same party pretty much just at somebody else's home, why do we need so many, you know? They should just every year switch off who's the one hosting it. I think that'd be a better idea, but... Or maybe it's like, if they really enjoy throwing their parties so much, sure, they can throw their party. Like, every year, everyone, like, they can all throw their own party. But maybe OP can be like, okay, well, we'll have our own. And then each year we'll switch off whose home we're going to go to. You know, I think that makes more sense. But I don't know. I mean, is that normal for you guys? Do you have so many holidays? Like, so many different ones you have to go to? Different parties? And it's funny that they all want to throw the party, because parties are kind of a pain in the ass to have to get together, you know? And then having everybody come over and then having to clean up afterwards. Like, that's not fun. Oh, yeah. I forgot to say, not the asshole. Okay. Not the asshole, people with young children usually do attend fewer events held by the larger family for the reasons you describe. Parents want to see their kids open gifts in their own home. Yeah. It's like creating your own tradition in your own home, you know? The problem is not your in-laws, though. It's your husband. Yeah, he's like not taking a stance and he's just getting like pulled around. Okay, your in-laws are going to want to have things their way, and it's your husband's job. He is the blood relative, yeah, to communicate what you and he will do after first discussing it with you. If he's making decisions without discussing them with you, then you have a problem in your relationship. You need to agree on what's reasonable. Okay, I wouldn't go to all of them, yes. Yeah, the grandmother is probably the one... Well, I guess it would be the great-grandmother, right? The one you'd want to go to probably because she's, like, probably gonna pass soon. Like, she's getting there. His parents can visit you there or at your house if the children have all left the nest. That's pretty standard. Yeah, that's true. You can go to somebody's house on Christmas Eve and one, like, maybe if you do want to go to more than one, just, like, maybe if they don't have them all on Christmas. Yeah. That's true. The husband's not taking a stance at all and just letting his mom decide for him, which is, like, really? You're a married man now. Everyone's agreeing that it's the husband's problem. Like, it's his fault. He's the asshole. This one seems... like a good one. So, am I the asshole because I don't want to visit my family anymore? This one I'm not going to judge on because it could be very valid. I, 39 female, moved to Europe nearly 8 years ago and got married in 2015. I have a nice job, and my wife, 45 female, and I live comfortably. 1 cat, no kids, just the way we always wanted it. Okay. It's expensive to fly back home to Texas or Tennessee, but I've done it twice since. The plane tickets alone for my wife and I is up to €1,000 each. Yeah, that's a lot. not to mention the cost of a hotel, something we choose to ourselves to have space, food, other, yeah, very valid. My sister doesn't work. Uh, what is that? And had a baby in 2018, and we went to Texas to visit for 2 weeks. It was great because I became an aunt for the first time and got to see my sister, who I haven't seen in several years at this point. My mom also flew in during this time from Tennessee. Okay? I've always begged my sister or my mom to come visit me in Europe. I want to show them the life I've made for myself here, teach, show them the culture, and admittedly just feel the excitement of having them travel to see me. They've always said things like, one day it'll happen. Okay. My sister's excuse has always been that she has a young kid and can't just make spontaneous plans and travel. I mean, valid. Okay, my mom's excuse is that she can't handle an international flight. She does have flight anxiety, but somehow she manages the 2 to 3 flights to Texas a few times a year. Okay. Keep in mind, my sister didn't have a baby the first few years I lived here. Okay, that's true. My only thing would be, did she have money to go there maybe? And for the mom, she says that she does take a flight. But, like, I mean, that's a shorter flight. 2 to 3 times a year, sure. But, like, if you're going all the way to Europe, that's going to be a longer flight. So I could see her being able to handle, like, a shorter flight. But, like, having to do that big flight would really be too much. I can relate because I've never been on an airplane, but I know I, like, am scared of heights. And I think I would have a lot of anxiety on an airplane. Not saying I'm not going to do it because I do want to travel, but, like, you know. Okay. 2023 comes and my sister had her second child in June. Okay, yeah. At this point, I doubt she will ever visit. My mom already made her yearly trip to Texas and could seemingly care less about what's going on in my life. Okay, I've been here 8 years and my mother doesn't even own a passport. I've even encouraged her to get one at my own cost in the case of an emergency. She's just not interested. My sister and her husband do have passports. Okay, yeah, that's kind of weird that she doesn't want to, like, get a passport. Just because, like, yeah, what if something does happen? Like, maybe you're in the hospital, something happens, and, like, you know, you want your family there to help, like, support you. Yay. I've pulled back from my family because of this. It was planned that we fly to Texas next year to meet my second niece, but I've canceled that trip. I'm tired of the effort being one-sided. It's also incredibly expensive. Most of my heart isn't into it anymore because it honestly feels like I've been put on the back burner. I can see that. The only time we really chat now is when it's about my sister's kids. Our family chat is nothing else but conversation about my sister's family. I throw a pic of my cat in there every now and then, and the engagement is the bare minimum of a virtual heart. My phone doesn't ring as much anymore. My private texts go unanswered most of the time, or the replies I do get seem mundane. I've stopped initiating communication from my end because what's the point? My family thinks I need to approach it differently. Oh, no, my wife thinks I need to approach it differently because I'm being a little selfish and unfair. She does understand my side and has expressed that, but she thinks canceling the trip next year is an overreaction. Am I the asshole because I don't want to go anymore? Yeah. I don't know. I wouldn't say you're an asshole because it seems like you are kind of being overlooked in your family now. Like, I wouldn't say that OP is the asshole. I would just say, like, do what feels best for you. Like, maybe have a talk with your family first. But it seems like she's already been communicating with them a while about trying to have more communication with them and, like, having them visit her and stuff. So it does seem very one-sided. So I would say if she doesn't feel the need to go there, then don't. And maybe it is good to have a little separation, you know? Okay. Second edit. Okay. Some people keep bringing up the financial burden that my family might have coming to visit me. I never said either of them were struggling in that sense. Oh, there's a squirrel out there. So please stop assuming they can't afford it. Both can. It's not about money or time, but rather about desire and effort. They both have expressed repeatedly that they want to. I don't know what that time will come at this point, if ever. Yeah, it's weird that they keep saying that they want to go, but then they just don't. They obviously had the time they could, but they don't. Also, I understand the few that are concerned that my mother has anxiety when flying, and I feel that I'm overlooking that. She can fly, and she does multiple times a year, but she just gets extremely nervous. The idea of an international flight doesn't excite her, but it doesn't prevent her either. She has said she's willing to tackle it. She just hasn't. Yeah, I'm not sure about that. I think it could be a thing of being like, oh, like, because maybe you're thinking in your head, it's irrational that I have this fear. So it's like, or this anxiety. So it's like, oh, no, I can do it. Like, you kind of hype yourself up, like, I can do it. But then maybe, like, saying you can do it is different than actually doing it, you know? So I don't know. Also, I understand the few that are Some people took what I initially wrote and made me out to be a monster who wants to put a small, terrified old lady in a long flight against her will. My own mother would laugh at that. Hopefully this clarifies that. Lastly, me moving abroad was not with the expectation that I would be dropped like a hot potato. We all knew our family dynamics would change. But to this degree, can't say I saw it coming. I have expressed to them before that I feel like things have changed between us, but these conversations tend to only improve things short term. Yeah, I think that's a thing though. It's like pretty much you're having a long distance relationship right now. Like your family, they're not close to you, like they're not near you, so the only way they can communicate with you is through the phone, you know? So it's like of course I feel like the connection kind of gets lost a little. It's like, of course, like she was mentioning her mom always being very excited about seeing photos of her sister's kids, but it's like, well, also she has like a good relationship with these kids. I'm sure she sees them more. So it's like, and a cat and a kid's it's very different. So I understand why they wouldn't be like what conversation are you going to have about your cat? Like, I don't know, with the kid, you can actually talk about them, what's going on with them. For a cat, it's like, oh yeah, they just took a nap. They're still sleeping. I changed out their cat food. like you can't, there's not much going on with a cat. I mean, I love cats. I have cats, but like, you know, it's not the same. So, I don't know. It just seems like I think that's just how things are going to be if you're living in a different country. Like, unfortunately, that's how things are. I still wouldn't say she's the asshole because obviously what she is feeling with the distance and like feeling like her family isn't there for her makes sense as well. So it's just unfortunate. So I wouldn't call her an asshole. I wouldn't call anyone an asshole in this situation. It seems like everyone's saying not the asshole. Not everyone, but most people are. Someone said you're the asshole to yourself. Maybe this just hit the line, just hit a little too close to home. I moved to Europe from New York 12 years ago. I built my life here. It was a real struggle to keep in contact with my siblings. It always felt like one-way street to me. Sometimes I just wouldn't reach out and see how long it would take somebody to message me. Okay, it's fairly uncommon that the person who chooses the uncommon path in their life has to do more to reach out to maintain those relationships. It's not right, it's just reality. Yeah, subconsciously they may feel like you are the one who created the situation of being such a pain to visit, so it should be you to reach out. Yeah, yeah. So I kind of have experience with this because my sister also like moved to a different country for years, and she had a similar feeling of feeling like very lonely and like people, she would try to reach out to people and they either wouldn't reply or they would, like, it felt very one-sided to her. I think that's just how it is though, because for us it was like a lot of talking on the phone. She's a talker. So it was like talking on, like, being on the phone with her for hours, and it's like it comes to a point where it's like if you're literally not even talking to each other anymore. It's just like you're both on the phone, it's going on, and you're doing your own things. Like you're not even communicating anymore. Like yeah, and also if it's like during a party, people can't hear. People are trying to talk to people that are actually there, you know? So, I don't know. It's a thing of, it is unfair to ask them to visit you and them to shell out money when you're the one that decided to move out. But I mean, I think it would still be good for them to do that at least once, right? But ultimately, it's their decision. And it's kind of like, since you're the one that left, you kind of have to put more effort in, unfortunately. Yeah. It's like if I moved 2 hours away, I'm not expecting everybody to come visit me. Obviously, everybody else is here. I have to move to them, right? But I still don't think she's the asshole. It's just an unfortunate situation. It's the reality. I think that's good. We got a few good ones for this episode. All right. So let me know what you thought about those stories. Like, do you think anybody was the asshole? Anybody wasn't? Like, for the OPs? Like, what's your thought on these situations? What would you do? All right. And I will see you for our next video. All right. Bye.